Hello and welcome to our first look at Railroad Corporation. Before we get going into the campaign, I want to thank Corby Games and Iceberg Interactive for sending over a key so we can take a look at this. We also need to note that this is early access, not a full release. There is a few things that are missing to the game at the moment. If you buy into it now, the editor will be available in a future early access update, so you don't have to wait for the full release. And also sandbox mode is coming. We do have a multiplayer that's active and in beta, but what we're going to do is play the campaign. I've already played we're going to start over. I played about an hour of it just to get the hang of things. Alrighty then, here we are. Company selection screen. This is where you start before we get into the meat of the campaign. We're going to pick ourselves a photo. We've got 4 to choose from. There they all are. I'm going to go with this guy. A bit of a vampire. I'll go with that. Way more hair than me. But better looking too. Right then. Now we've got 3 choices. We can go with Pickett Railroads, Kane Eastern Railway or Harrington's Railroad. I will tell you now that a locomotive costs 14,000, which straight off puts this one better than that one. I'm not sure what the extra 10,000 the beginning of each mission is. It seems like the loco is always going to be the best bet there. However, I kind of like this one. There's a lot of building involved and the map's quite large for the campaign, and 10% less costs probably going to equal more than 14,000. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm going with. So it's kind of a continuous thing, so let's get cracking. Okay, hot steel for Cincinnati. Welcome to the company. Thank you. We have received a large order. Mr. Denman, an entrepreneur from Cincinnati, has asked us to supply him with 5 carriages of steel. Time is running out and Mr. Denman has even sent a prepayment for the order. And then all of the other things, but we want to get into the game, don't we? Goodness me. Right, it doesn't start off pause. We're going to pause it straight off and take a look at the map. Here we go. UI is nice and friendly, you'll be pleased to know. It's not the largest of maps, but it is at the beginning of the campaign. We have Manchester down here, Enid, Barnstable Town, Casa Grande, Grantee, Winchester, Santa Rosa, Lexington, Cincinnati, Eden Prairie, Louisville, Pasadena, New Orleans, Bowling Green, Lakeville, Clarksville, San Bruno. That's all of them. Our headquarters are in Bowling Green. You always start with the headquarters, and if we zoom right in, this is your station. Interesting thing to know, or mechanic that you need to know about this before you get going, is you can't just go building stations willy-nilly. As far as I can tell. I've only played an hour, so not the greatest amount of experience, but it was enough to fail. This game is brutal, or can be if you're not careful. You have to take your time, gradually get things going. I'll explain it a little more as we get going. The first thing we want to do is set up passenger runs. It's my theory. It may not be the right one, but that's what I tend to go with. I also like to break up the tracks with blocks like that. It tends to cut down on elevation and also digging holes into the ground, so the cost of your track generation tends to be a little easier on the bank balance, which we'll soon go through, believe me. Right, and there's our bonuses. We pay 10% less on soil excavation and rails. I don't know what else we spend less on. Notice we have to spend $5,000 on a new station in Clarksville. You only have to do that once. So we're going to confirm that. You see we've got undo, cancel, etc. So there we go. We've got our first connection up. We've got 100,000. The maximum overdraft is 50,000. Now, if you go past 50,000, even by $1, game over. That's it. You're done. You have to start again. I like that personally. I always like a bit of a challenge. So let's set up our first passenger run. As I was saying before, passengers, we're gonna come out of here. Passengers are a good basis for your income, as other various things that you can do around the map, you may have to pay for the services. So there is an outlay as well, but I don't think there's any outlay for passengers. I mean, other than building the track and the trains. That will become apparent as we get into it. There's our train, as you can see, 14,000. You get a free one with that guy in the middle, but we're gonna have to buy them all. You shouldn't need too many to start with. Right, now, setting up a train line. This took a little bit of getting used to, but once you do, it's pretty straightforward and fairly intuitive, so I like it. We're going to start at Bowling Green. Oh, I'm not actually setting up the train line there. Let's click on you again. So you can add a station at Bowling Green, and the other station we want is Clarksville. What we want to do is set what we're loading at Bowling Green, is where we're starting. You can just click on the icons here, or you can use the ones that come up next to it. So we're going to pick 2. If we take a look at the bottom here, you see we've got 24 of 40 tons, which drops our speed, maximum speed that we can do to 29 miles an hour rather than 35. If we add another one, you'll notice we're now down to 15. That is too slow for me. You don't want to quite do that, so you can get rid of them. And at Clarksville, obviously, we want to load passengers. You'll see 1 of 7 there. That's how many they'll store. And 1 of 5 there. And 0 of 20 at both is the demand they'll accept. Don't know what they'll do if you ever reach that, whether they'll expand. Probably expand the city. So now we need to do the same thing at Clarksville. So we'll put a couple of people on. Notice we're overloaded. And that's because we're not dropping any passengers off. So you want to unload the passengers at each station. One thing you can do, if you don't want to wait for full passengers, you can remove this little what is that? Like a timer thing. There's a proper name for that, isn't there? Hourglass. There we go. You can remove the hourglass. So if you'd like to just go whenever you've got any load, you can. I think it's a good idea to keep all passengers because it costs money to run down the tracks. And that's it. And we should be able to see it get going. Now, if we apply that, you'll see he's going to be picking up some passengers. Oh, he's not, because we need to press play. He's picked up his first passenger. There's now a little tick there. They're not, don't worry, they will not unload straight away. I was a little concerned about that. The game itself has quite a bit of depth into it. We're going to switch to our mission objectives here. This is what the sort of path you're following through your campaign. One of the things we would need to do is set up a research and development department in our office. We've also got to take iron ore. If we click on these here, deliver 10 carts of iron ore to this steel mill down here. Now, given that we have to connect each one to build the station, it's a bit much to go over there straight away. I learned that lesson early on. And the other one's coal to go to that same steel mill. So our train is underway, I think. Did I play it? I did play it, didn't I? I think we're waiting for one more passenger. Let's click on trains. There he goes. He is leaving now. If you want to center on him, you can. You just click on the icon there and you can follow him around. Take a look at our little train. There's our best friend. And 2 ginormous passenger cars, which is awesome. So that's our first train underway. He has passengers on and we'll get money for that as soon as he shows up there. We do have if we go back here, we do have a time limit on all of these. We are under pressure. Something I enjoy. I don't mind sandbox, but at the same time, it's nice to be challenged. There we go. We've got some money. Lovely jubbly. Stations are interesting for Railroad Corporation. as they kind of operate as a whole. Although it only shows one platform sort of thing here, it's more like once they get to a certain point, depending on how many upgrades your station has, they will have more platforms, maintenance yards, and dispatching orders. So they all handle the trains in that manner. This is definitely not like a, say, Transport Fever, where you build a realistic network. More of an abstract network. From what I can see in an hour's playthrough, we're making more money. We're going to need that money very shortly. There we go. We're filling up. Yeah, from what I can see, it's kind of a resource management and logistics is the best way. Dealing with supply and demand, moving goods from one thing to the other, as well as researching. There's upgrades to do. You can buy out industries, so it's got a lot of depth to it. It'll be interesting to see how multiplayer goes on this. Okay, so that train's going. It's made us a bit of money. Next thing I want to do is this passenger run here. That we're going to have people. You can see we've got 8 of 12 built up there. They also have mail. I don't know how mail works, but we don't have a post office in Bowling Green where we're based. So we'll probably not do that just yet. But I would like to get money going, and would like to also make sure we don't spend too much on our track laying, because it does get quite pricey quite quickly if you're not careful. That's why I like to make all these blocks. And we're going to come around here, sort of follow the tree line a little bit. There we go, and then hook up to there. It's going to cost us 22,000 total, because we've got to build another station. But each time we build these stations, then it's one less station for us to manage in the future, so we can keep connected to them. We might have to swing that station round. So that's our next one. We're going to set up another train. We'll buy another one. It always starts at your home base. And we're going to add stations. We're going to start at Bowling Green. And then we're going to Louisville over there. And we'll just do the same here with the passengers. We're going to load 2 passenger car there. We're going to unload 2. And do the same here. And there. Right. Do that. Get you underway. Brilliant. So that's our basis started. My mistake that I made, this is what I tried to do. I tried to go for these missions objectives off the bat, and that did not end very well. I was declared bankrupt, and it kicked me to the main menu. It gave me a nice little parting message, but yes, it did kick me to the main menu. Okay, so this is roughly how far I got. I did hook up logs and stuff. But I'm thinking a different tactic. I wouldn't mind trying out mail. I don't know exactly how much mail gives us. If we click on it, yeah, it doesn't really say. I don't know what it... there we go. Post office. Demands mail. 15 tons. Price per 100 miles travelled. Right. Now that's interesting. So they pay per 100 miles. Some of them have a flat fee. Let's have a look at passengers. What do they charge? Per 100 miles. So mail is more beneficial. City Hall demands wood. Price per one is 3,300 there. I don't know what this is. City Hall. That's interesting. Well, there's lots of things to figure out here. It looks pretty straightforward when you get into it. I can assure you it's not quite as straightforward as just clicking things. Right. Okay. Construct a repair shop. This is the only one I've seen pop up. Since you are new here, I want to let you know that the locomotives are wearing out. Time does not spare anyone, and the locomotives is no exception. especially if transported cargo is heavy. The more the mileage and age of a locomotive, the higher the probability of its failure on the tracks. To minimise the chance of breakdown, build repair shops at the stations and from time to time send locomotives there for maintenance. Regular maintenance will reduce the negative effects of mileage, but if it is in a bad condition because of time, there is nothing you can do. So eventually we're going to have to replace our trains. We've got 53 or nearly 54,000. If we go to our train list here, you can see them fading from bright green to a dull green there. Eventually they go red, and that's when problems will arise. So we should probably do that. If we go here, there's no time limit on this, so perhaps we should look into research. How much is it going to cost us? If we click on our little office up here, you'll notice we're in 1832, so deep into the 19th century America railroad history. Click on our office here. You'll see we need to upgrade. That's all we have at the moment, our office departments. Your company is capable of laying railroads in the area. That's all we have. If you go to set up new, here's our research and development department. However, you'll see it requires 3 rooms available. We only have 1. So we're going to need to spend money. Again, an upgrade, set up new. And we install this. There. So now we have that one done, technology investment. We got 100 experience points for that. I don't quite know what experience points give you yet. It's another layer to the game. So now we can improve our locomotives or even develop new ones. I am sure that 5 research projects will be enough to keep our company updated. Will it be a new locomotive, or will we improve the existing ones? You decide. Yeah, so you know, this one threw me. We're going to take a look at the research department. We'll see we've got a new button here. I'd like to pause it while we do this quickly. Here's our technology tree. We have 10 scientists available to do our research. We're only going up to this far at the moment. It's the usual branch. So if we head up this way, it's just for this locomotive. If we branch off that way, it's towards learning to build a new loco, the John Bull. And on the way there, we have to do this one in order to do that one, which will increase all locomotives' power. Now, I don't know how much the John Bull will actually cost us to buy. Does it say anywhere there? No, it doesn't. See, this one, we can just about afford to keep buying new trains. And what we could do is then improve this train and make it much better than what it is. Bearing in mind, we have to pay for each of these upgrades as well to start them. We can put as many people as we want on them. So if we reduce fuel consumption, that's saving us money. If we increase the max speed, that increases how quickly we get money. This might be a good idea to start with, because I think that's a big push to go that way. So if we say start this one and give plus 4 miles per hour. Now, if we have 1 scientist, it takes 125 days. You put another one on, it's almost half. Close enough. Then you get diminishing returns after that point, by the looks of things. Yeah, definitely diminishing returns. So I don't know, we'll go with something, say, just a little over a month. We could do 2s, right? That looks about right to me. And we should start this one as well, and then we could put 2 down there. Maybe 3? Or maybe 4. Ooh, could we get it, like, close? See, look at the diminishing returns on that. Okay, do you know what? That looks good to me. What else could we do? Power, plus 8 power. Reliability is always nice. Reduce aging. That one might be nice too. But it's going to cost us. I'm going to say power. And we'll stick a couple of people on there for now. In fact, drop one off there. Put it on there. That'll do. That'll do. That's 3 research projects underway. and we'll hit play, and they should all start working on their relative projects. We have research going. Now, how much is it going to cost us to build a new facility? We don't have room. Obviously, we're going to have to upgrade for 3,000. It would be nice to put a repair shop in, which is here. That's going to cost us 3, so 6,000. So let's do it. We'll do that. We'll add a new facility and we'll install a repair shop and we'll get XP. Engineering success is the other new mission objective we have, which is to complete research of five tech tree items. I don't know what to call them. I lost my train of thought. Yep. You're welcome. Okay, so now we have a repair shop. We'll leave that there because we're not worried about trains at the moment getting stuck in there and not finding their way. Right, so we'll see we've got this available. 1 locomotive at a time can be maintained at the station. Price per service is 300 at least. So if we click this, it is now going to be serviced when it gets in there. You see, this is the one that's dark green. I don't know when the ideal time to do it is. Oh, let's click on that again. Locomotive, that's 50%. That's probably a good time to do it, isn't it? About 50%. So he's going to be serviced, or he should be serviced now, in our HQ there at Bowling Green. And there it is. It's underway. It's taking a little bit of time. He should hopefully... Oh, there's his age. This limits the maximum percentage this can go up to. It's greyed out just there. Upkeep, 120 a month. There we go. We can copy that train. We can scrap it. I don't know whether we can replace. Probably not. I don't know. We'll have to look into that when it comes to it. Right. Now what should we do? We need to make more money. Much more money. I'm a little concerned about building too many bridges though. But I would like to transport mail. I haven't looked at that yet. So we'll do that together. Let's build us some more track. It's going to be absolutely pricey. We can make a junction here. You can double track as well. I've not quite worked out the benefits of it. I think we can stick with 30 and go around the outside of these trees perhaps. And where do we want to be heading? Over... Yeah, Lexington might work for us. We can also branch if need be. We'll go across there. This is going to be quite pricey. But as long as we block it okay. How much is that going to cost? Actually, that's not bad, is it? You see we've got the wood struts there. Hopefully they'll build us a bridge. It's going to be pricey. But there we go. They've built a lovely bridge for us. Is that a trestle bridge? I would imagine so. You'll notice if we come down here now, they're starting to put signals in. I can't see any way to place signals yourself, but you can. Look at our money already. Already getting tight on money. Like we can close these now. I don't think we have to do anything. Do we just... We get them optional. So silver ones are optional. Can we just close that now? Are we done with that? Yeah, okay, and we've done with that one. So the only objectives we've got are the 2 main ones just here. Are these compulsory? Yeah, these are probably compulsory. So we'll go with those. We will get to this, and I think we'll be able to do it within plenty of time. Notice our money is steadily going up. Let's start us a new... It's going to be interesting. He's going to have to go all the way up here and then all the way over there. I don't know how much we can carry as far as mail is concerned. Let's try that then. We'll get Louisville on there. And where else is Lexington, right? Lexington, yes. So we want to deal with mail. Like I said, we can click on these, like the here and here. And we need to drop mail off there, mail off there. So, I mean, it's quite heavy, the mail. But it might be okay because we are researching better power. Let's do that. And we'll get that going. There we go. Louisville no longer demands wood. Not sure what they are. They just seem to change what they demand. That might be ongoing. They might change what their requirements are. Okay, so that's the good basic setup. This should provide us money on a regular basis. We might, I was going to say we might need to double track that, but this train is only just heading this way for now, and then it's going to scoot off onto the branch line over there. I hope, anyway. I mean, it's delayed our passenger train a little bit. That's because we don't have it. We are gonna double track this shortly. I think that's the best way to do that, because we're gonna have to take freight at some point. You'll see that the station handles the dispatching of trains now that one's in there and out the way. This passenger service will go. I don't know how you hide the the giant things here. There might be a way. What's this one? Game menu? It's probably not that, is it? I'll try and figure out a way to do that. I don't know whether you can. Right, there goes our mail train. They're giant wagons, aren't they? They make the poor little train look tiny. Okay, now what we could do, we could also have a passenger train doing the same thing. We could keep an eye on the mail and it could pick up passengers or mail. I don't know whether you can do that. I'm half tempted to set up another passenger line. However, that's going to be so much money. I don't want to get into the red. Perhaps once this guy gets here, we'll be fine. Research power has been completed. Well, we're not really in a position. What's this button down here? Oh, event log. It reminds me of an MMO. That's adorable. There we go. Learn things all the time. I am very new to this. An hour's not even close to how long you'll need to get into the full nitty-gritty of this game. Can you tell I love it? I do. I love it. It's really lands straight in my wheelhouse. Okay. Do I want to risk putting a passenger line on there? And will it be cheap? We could have a passing loop, right? If necessary, if it does block it. We'll see how that works. Right, let's do that. We're going to buy a new passenger train. We're going to have... Can we do it like this? Let's see if this is shorter. Save a couple of steps. Can we then say 2 people there and 2 people... Yeah, you can. Look at that. That's beautiful. And then go 2-2. 2-2. Oh, I like it. I like it. Oh, we've got more power now. Look at that. We can do 33 miles an hour because our power's better because of the research that we just did. I'm excited. I'm excited. It's all turning around. So does that mean we're big enough to do 3? No, not quite. Not quite. Yeah, 16 miles an hour. I don't really want 16 miles an hour. We'll stick with 2. We'll stick with 2. Right, off you go. Now we get to see whether we need to mess about with passing loops. We might do. How much would a passing loop actually cost? Oh, we're definitely going to need it, aren't we? They are waiting for track clearance. Oh, and look where the passing loop would be, right where the bridge is. That's about halfway, isn't it? That's almost spot on halfway. Let's try a passing loop. Let's do it. If we go from there, can we hook onto there possibly? There we go. How much is it going to cost if we come in just before the bridge? Yeah, you got to slow down. I get that, but that's how junctions work. It's not expensive. Look at that. Now, will that set us up some sort of passing loop? It might. It might. So they are waiting at these signals down here. I don't think they're animated, but they are waiting. So what does he do now? Or is he just going to follow? It's T4, right? He's doing his stuff. He's just got there. That's our passenger train. He's going to go that way. T3's just heading down there. You can't name these as far as I can tell. We're going to have to wrap up soon. I've got carried away, haven't I? Right, T4's going that way. I don't know whether we would have gone that way. Well, we'll get to see shortly, won't we? He might be alright, actually. It might have allowed him to get into this passing loop. And then when he goes into there, it's going to block on this side, though. But at 3,000, and given the trains are not too long, this is excessive. I admit, that's probably a little excessive. Right, he's gone in there, so he's just going to continue. And how long does it take him to do his business? And then he's going to be blocked, right, and be waiting for this one. You'll be waiting for a train to clear now, won't you? Get out of this mode. What are you doing? You are waiting for free track. Yes, that's what I thought. So we could have small passing loops, like smaller ones, because I went a bit crazy with that one. Let's face it. As I do the same again. There we go. That should be fine. If we do that, that should give us enough room for a couple of passing loops there. Great. Yes. So we could just increase the throughput there. If need be, we've made quite a bit of money. But we've got to end somewhere. That's been our first look at Railroad Corporation. And as you can see, I've really got into it already. It's got me. It's got me. As I said, it's in early access. There are still changes to come. They are listening to the player base, which is great news. That's why they've opened it up in early access. It's currently on sale for 10% off. I'll leave all the links to Corby Games, Iceberg Interactive, and the Steam store page. If you're interested in this one, you can go and grab a copy. It's on sale until Monday, the 3rd of June. Right, can we end this with a bit of a train ride? Let's see. Yeah, we can. That's great. There we go. Our first look and our first episode. We'll come back and play a little bit more. We won't go too far into it over the course of this first look. However, during early access, I do intend to keep coming back to it. There's our lovely little train going over the beautiful water there. Looks great. Yes, so thanks for watching, guys. And until next time, take care.